Hey, girl.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. We are live.
Oh, awesome. I feel like my camera is a little dirty. Let me see if I can
It is okay.
something to wipe it. I usually do. I'll clean my desk off today. How are you doing?
I am good. Happy Friday. Happy Women's History Month.
I know. Happy Women's History Month. Okay,
I
give me
feel like,
1 second. I'm going to clean off my camera. I have to
go
find
ahead.
a mic real quick because I feel like it's dusty. All right. And turn on the light. Okay, well, so much better. Dusty. There
We
we go.
are live. Welcome to Genius Over Matter. I'm back. I am your host, Jennifer Wentz, AI strategist, futurist, technologist, all the things. I have my special guest today. It's Karima Williams. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your yes. Listen, Karima we're going to get into her story. We're going to get into her background, but Karima is one of my favorite AI folks on the internet right now. She has taught herself to vibe code. She's an Anthropic girly. Maybe she'll be an Anthropic ambassador. Maybe I will too. I didn't even put in my app yet, but it's coming. Okay.
Get on that. It's like 5 minutes.
I know. I just keep scrolling. I keep saying like I'm gonna do it and then forget. But
Get
it's
Claude to
coming.
do it for you.
You're right. You're so right.
Where are you located?
Charlotte.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I feel like hell yeah. I feel like in DC I might have some competition. But in
Yes.
Charlotte, you know what I
I don't think
mean?
I am. I think I'm one of the only. When I say I'm getting ready to take over this Charlotte AI market, because there's not that many of us down here.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
Um,
feel
yeah.
like.
So look, friends, fellow geniuses, Karima is the founder of the Crash Out Diaries. She will be giving us a little demo, a little history on that during this live. Um, and she's in DC, as you heard.
Yes.
So let's get into how you got started with AI, and then let's get into like what is your background before technology? Because with this show, I like to first of all, I like to show Black Genius on display, of course, and then female women Black Genius, and I like to bring technology like down to earth, make it more practical, make it so it's not so far away for people, especially AI, and empower people and give them agency so they know Karima's one of the girlies, I'm one of the girlies. You can jump in here and get started with AI as well. So tell us, like, how did you get started in AI, and then what's
Mm-hmm.
your background?
Okay, cool. So how I got started in AI was it's like a mix of two different things. One was like when chat had first came out, I was on Twitter. There was like so much buzz around it. I think it was like December of 2023, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was 2022. It was around the time when it first came out, maybe like a month after I got on there, and I was like into it. I thought it was so cool. I was like, "What is this?" And then I just became kind of a casual user of Chat GPT. GPT. I always say B, and it's so funny in my videos. I'm like Chat GPT every time, and I'm like, Luckily, no one's catching it, but I don't know why.
Sounds close. If you would never point that out, I wouldn't have caught it.
Oh my god! Every time I say that, it's so funny to me. So, it was like that was my introduction. And then one of my girlfriends, in 2023, I think the years get so mixy, but she just kept on being like, "You gotta try out Claude. You gotta try out Claude. You need to be on Claude." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, girl!" And she was like, "Claude is that girl." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "You're annoying me." She meant well. We used to have like me, her, and another friend used to have like bi-weekly check-ins. We would talk about AI and we talk about different tools, and we just get on Zoom and just like nerd out together. And so eventually I started to try out Claude. I want to say that was like mid or the end of 2023. I can't really remember exactly, but I really started to like heavily use it. And then at the same time, I worked in crypto. And
Okay.
so at the same time in crypto, like a lot of my brand and a lot of what I did in crypto was like onboard. The same thing I do with AI is like onboarding people to technology and making it digestible for them and making them feel like it's accessible for them.
Were
I did
you
the same.
in customer success?
No, no, marketing,
Oh,
community
marketing.
building. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm gonna get into the background before AI, but at like the end of 2023, it became like a big boom around, was it 2023 or 2024? The years just blur together for me, but it was a boom around
It is
AI
hard
agents.
to fast.
They just like, I gotta get my timeline together, but it was a boom around AI agents and the different and AI agents basically are just, like the AI, I know you know, but the AI that can make decisions based off context, take action without you having to trigger it. It's not really a straight workflow, so a bit more intense in a workflow. So an agent, the most common version of an agent is like an interactive chat bot that can answer you and dynamically pull information and all that other stuff. So I was getting into that because that was really big in crypto where they had agents posting on Twitter on their own. And then you could look in the terminal and like see the agents making decisions and why they made a decision. It could be like searching for friends, looking for blah 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 blah. It was very interesting to see. And that was like my first exposure to that. And I want to say it was like the end of 23 into the beginning of 24 where I really started to dive into agents and like I was teaching live. I would live stream on Twitter. Mainly, I think Twitter was really my main platform. I'm trying to think of any other ones, but Twitter was like my main platform that I would live stream to. And I would just go teach there. I had a series called You're Not Too Late, and I would just continue to teach. So from there, like that's how I got started. It was just I just kept teaching. I had one live stream where I built an agent, and it kind of is crazy because that live stream ended up getting like 5,000 people on there watching me build an agent. And crypto, like they're just a bunch of degenerate gamblers. They just gamble, and you could buy. And I launched a token on stream. When I launched a token on stream, it was crazy. People started buying it. It almost basically
Wow.
bonded, which means that the market cap of the token almost hit about 500K, which showed the amount of people buying it. It was probably like at that point, I technically maybe have raised like around $25,000-$30,000 live on accident, which is so annoying because I
I
didn't
don't
get to
even
see
know
any of that
anything about
money.
crypto, girl.
Huh?
Like I know like this much about crypto. So
Oh,
you're teaching me. I didn't come from that world.
that's the world that I came from. And to segue to before AI, I was always been in tech to some extent as far as like my professional career. When I left college, my very first job was Obamacare and onboarding people onto the website in DC. So my job was to help people. I would go to barbershops, nail salons, libraries, wherever. We would host events, gyms, and we would be onboarding people to register for their health insurance through this website. So it was the same kind of thing with getting people acclimated to a new way of using technology. They had not used technology in that kind of sense when they were getting their health insurance. I had to learn a lot about health insurance terminology to teach them and make sure that they were informed before they made choices. And so that was my very first job out of college. After that, I quickly worked in for a year, maybe was it a year? not even a year. I worked for a company called basically a political ads company. And we were running ads for politicians. One of the politicians, the first person I wrote ad copy for was Kamala Harris, which is so
What?
crazy. Yes, I was
Right.
writing ad copy, and she was at that point, and this was like way before. She was like, "This is the Senate stuff." She was making bank. She was spending money and making money. I mean, she would spend like 100,000 a month on ads,
Mm,
making that shit right back. It was insane to see
that's
the
crazy.
ads play in the political world. But soon after, I discovered crypto, Bitcoin, and I wanted to work in crypto. I wrote 2 articles about crypto on LinkedIn, and a recruiter contacted me, and I started working at Consensus, which is like this huge company.
I
It's like
heard
the
about that.
Google.
Yep.
Yeah, Consensus is pretty huge, like the Google of crypto. Like if you work there, it's like a looks good and all the other stuff. I worked there for a few years. I rolled it out because it was like waves of layoffs. Consensus was always too big. So like me and a few a
One of those
few
type of consulting situations.
yes, it was always too big. By the third wave of layouts, little good old the third wave of layoffs, I got laid off during COVID, which was like I expected it. One, I was fresh off maternity leave. The job I had was in grants. I was spending money like a mother. I was just spending money because that was my job to like give people money.
Campaign
And
stuff, right?
mhm,
Ads and campaigns, ads.
no, just grants. Like at that point,
Oh,
the way
great.
the way the consensus worked is you get a job and then you just stay employed by staying relevant. So like my job changed like
Wow.
3 times, which was fun because you had a lot of autonomy to do what you wanted to do as
Yeah.
long as you can get your buy-in from your coworkers. So I went from community lead to doing marketing stuff to doing grants and running a grants program. Like
Did
who
you
knew?
you just was like finessing, or I mean, because I know back in the early tech days, finessing was how you got around.
I
So
don't even know if I would call it finessing. I would say I just knew how to stay around, I guess. I don't
how
know,
to stay
like
relevant, how to provide value. I mean,
yeah,
which
and a
is
lot of it is like
pretty,
politicking internally. Like
yeah,
you're politicking with your coworkers internally. Like the more you get to know them and the more relevant you can keep your role and like you peep certain stuff, you're like, you know what, I probably should like be on that committee or that group or volunteer for that thing. And
yeah.
then that would keep me on there for a while. And then from there, I would say every company that I worked for in crypto, I was recruited. I had never applied to a job and got it. Knock on wood, but I've never done it. I'm like,
I love that.
I love to see. Now I want to see the other world what that looks like
I
because
mean, I've never been in your world, but for my world, I feel like I'm one of the only people that apply for jobs on like LinkedIn or Indeed and get them. Like, don't know
I
nobody
want to be
cold,
you. 'Cause
cold, cold apply. No one.
you're here.
Apply on LinkedIn, get the job. Apply on Indeed, get the job.
I want to be you. Oh my gosh, man! It's
No,
like
I feel like I want to try that side. Like let the personal brand, and then let it just come and people just hit me up.
yeah. I mean, it did work well for a while until I want to say like the last 2 years. Like of me being in crypto, it's been harder, or maybe I haven't been out there as much or to many events.
I mean, the job market is
It's been weird.
toilet right now.
There's 2 parts to it too. Is that the consumer world and crypto is dying, and I particularly like don't want to work. I probably would like die on the inside if I worked for more of a
Like a
enterprise type role. Like I mean, when I was at Consensus, I had like purple at the top, pink at the bottom. Like I was just doing anything, and I mean that's in tech. You could kind of have that, and it didn't really matter, especially in consumer facing tech. That also didn't matter with my job of onboarding people and community roles and marketing. A lot of my value was in consumer, and it became a lot too niche to really like get into these roles. There'd be some roles I would apply to, and I would literally be the perfect fit for, and then I would get declined like on a Sunday or a Friday. I'm like, who's working at Friday? Like I'll just be offended, and
the
then I
buy
would.
the buy is declining. It
Maybe
has to,
the AI is hating on me,
it
but
has
like
to be because nobody's pushing that button on Sunday. Like, no.
that's what I was thinking when I saw who was hired for this one particular role. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even. It was I know that they knew someone, and that's literally how most of the roles are. And so that's why my mom was like, "Are you applying?" I'm like, "Mom, it does not work that way. It just doesn't. Not in the crypto world. You can meet a founder easily, but I started to. I left my last crypto job 2 weeks ago, so I was working as an account director at a marketing agency, probably the top marketing agency in crypto. They're called Hype. They were fun to work with for a while it lasted, but just again, crypto is just a whole world in itself, and it's intense. Like it's just very intense for no reason. There's no real reason that this is that intense. It's just like
crypto, Bitcoin, all of that seems when I picture that in my head, I'm seeing my man Leo, I'm seeing Wolf of Wall Street. Like if this is what the vibes gives to me. So I don't know if that's accurate or not.
somewhat. I mean, it's digestible. So, like to this day, if someone were to ask me, like, should I buy some or should I get involved, my answer would be absolutely. You should have like stable coins. You should have Bitcoin. You should have Ethereum. You should have like the basic ones. They're asset classes. And so,
Yeah.
when it comes to that, absolutely get involved. But when it comes to maybe saying, should I grow a new community or a new collective? I mean, I would never tell someone no for their dreams. Like, you got to try it out for yourself because it may work out for you. But for the average person, no, like do something else. It's the consumer part of it is dying, and right now it's just become a big gambling cesspool. To be honest with you, just a bunch of gambling, and also like the ways you could bot stuff and fake engagement is dying, and so that's making it's changing the landscape, which is a good thing. But that means there's like a period of pain that the market's going to have to go through in the meantime to adjust from the fake stuff and the botted accounts and the fake volume on tokens and different things of that nature. So that story ended for me 2 weeks ago. And now I'm like all in on AI.
Okay, me too. I'm all in on AI. So let's talk about your AI journey. Like, first, I want to know what's the first thing you did, if you could remember, with AI. I asked all my guests this, like, if you could go back, because I was one of them first Chat GPTers too. So, like, if you could go back in your mind, what was one of the first, like, what's one of your first prompts in Chat GPT when you open it up?
I have no idea. I'm so deep in it. It's like asking me when's the first time you went to the playground. I don't remember. I just been going to the playground.
I remember mine just because people have asked me. So I was working in corporate at the time, and I remember it being like around like October, November. Performance reviews was coming up, and I hate performance reviews. And but like I already have all of my. When I was working, I keep my receipts, so I was like, it's gonna be nothing for me to automate this and put all my stuff, my notes and stuff that I have done um into Hey Jasmine, I'm about to turn this camera off. So it's nothing for me to put all this stuff into chat. So I was like, let me put it in chat, see what happened. Put all of my like stuff that I did at work, all my notes, all my one-on-one stuff, because I keep all that receipts. So I put it in chat, and it did the performance review. I slid that performance review right into forget whatever tool we were using, and that was the end of that. They were like, yes, we love it. I was like, I love it too.
I could not tell you. I probably would be scrolling for days just to see what was my first chat like interaction. Like it would have to be something crazy. Like, cause after a while, I started to just use chat as like my search engine and like my general tool. When I would go to New York, I would be like, yeah, I have so many chats. There's no way I could even go all the way to the.
Don't even try. The only reason I know that is because I remember people asking me. But yeah, so
It was a blur.
Okay. Well, let us know if you were gonna tell anybody somebody's a brand new AI person user. What would you recommend for them to be doing if they are brand new to AI? They're not on vibe coding. They're in LLM. Just it could be chat. It could be Gemini. It could be Perplexity. It could be Claude. Like, what is the first thing that they should be doing?
It really depends on the person. I mean, it depends on the person. So, like, if you're a creative type of person, you should probably be experimenting with Google AI Studio, like just seeing what
AI Studio.
it gives you. Like, it gives you prompts you can try out. Run a prompt and just see what it does. Just and then like play around with it and interact. Because to me, I feel like vibe coding is like my canvas, and I get to paint, and I get to just do whatever. I was up last night till 2 o'clock in the morning. I just took a nap before this. I was so tired.
Are you
Huh?
going to give us? Because you said you'd be doing too much. So are you going to give us a little sneak peek of that as well?
Yeah. It's named Wella, the new app that I built last night.
Okay.
Well, it's a wellness app, of course. It's kind of my jam, but
Yes.
that's what I was doing. But I felt like it's the way that it's so much easier to vibe code now than it was a year ago is just
It's getting easier.
insane.
More
It's like I'm jealous a little bit because it's like the brick by brick that I did, like for Crash Out Diary. There's a game where you can tap and break a phone. I generated every single image. Okay, for like how cartoons like how they move. I did the same thing for the game. I'm like, bruh, it was rough. So for if you're creative, get on Google AI Studio and just have a good time, have fun. Maybe
What
even a journey.
You're in a professional career, not to say careers every career is not professional, but when I say that, I mean like you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're in this super white collar. What you think?
I would get it to draft to respond to an email that maybe you're having a problem responding to, or come up with a response in Slack that maybe you're like, maybe you want to get a little spicy and maybe it can tone it down for you. It's so many different use cases. I would say just try to solve a problem and with no expectations. So maybe you feel like you have so many emails you're bogged down in. Well, you can use a Claude Chrome extension to draft replies, not send. It can send if you want, but I think you should draft replies for you. Or, maybe you are a researcher and you want to be able to find certain information or pinpoint stuff. You can have Chat or Claude do a deep research report for you and always ask it to cite where it comes from, like see where the data comes from, right? So that way you can have, like I always, because the AI, I don't know if it does anymore, but it will make stuff up. It will be making. I'm like,
it still does.
Where did it come from? Now, one thing that Claude does know now is the date, because for a long time it did not know the date. None of them know the date because they're like
the information, the data that they're using in their data set is older. I forget like the different ones, but some of them have data like DeepSeek had data that was like 2 years old, 18 months old, or something like that. So some of them have like super old data. So outdated data.
I was like, dude, I feel like I could search it because I was arguing with Claude. I'm like, how do you not know what day it is? Like I was going in, but I didn't know at the time, like why, but I know now. But I think like, when you do research, asking it to give you sources is a huge deal. And like that could help a lot. Replying to a company email, or I mean a Slack message with ideas, or if you have an idea, asking it to challenge your ideas. Like you want to do a marketing campaign to attract new users in X amount of time, ask it to help you brainstorm on why your plan is good or bad. Like ask it to critique you and ask it to break it down, right? And so that way you get a really good perspective and make it a thinking partner. I think that's my advice. Like make it a thinking partner. Don't let it do the thinking for you, but make it your co-pilot on how you like to think and dissect certain things, especially maybe you had an idea, you're not comfortable sharing it with friends yet, or maybe they won't understand, then just go ahead to AI and start to like hash it out with that and let your ideas come to life.
Yeah. And I would say the same thing. I love having it challenge me, having it go deeper at, help me think of what I'm not thinking of. I like to add that sometimes to my thinking prompts. And then don't take the first thing that chat, you don't have to take the first thing that any of them
make it work.
Make it work. Make it work. Just like you will work, you will make if you was in a brainstorm session with a coworker or whatever. Like y'all would be going back and forth. So you can use AI for the same thing.
Agreed.
So let's get into first we'll get into Crash Out and then we'll go to Wella. Mm-hmm. But I did a vibe coding hackathon for She Builds Day last week. Very well attended. And it was amazing. So one of the questions that came up there is, how do you get, and they asked this at the end, so it was no way I could like help them. But how do you get an app how do you make a production ready app? And so I even brought your name up in the end, so you're in the recording. But I was like telling them to go look you up your app, because that's a lot of things that people are that's one of the things that people are struggling with, is like, great, I built out this thing, I vibe coded it, I never did anything, I never built anything before, so how am I going to get this into production? And then you have people who get it into production, and then I don't know, this was all over my threads for the last 2 days, like people making those memes like, I got my app into production, now I realize how I'm gonna market it, how I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah, so
that's the hard part.
Walk us through those steps and let us see like a little demo of Crash Out, and then walk us through the steps of like getting a production ready, making a production ready app using vibe coding. Like, how is that different like than regular traditional software engineering or building?
Yeah, I think production ready has its own, like, that's kind of subjective, because like, what does that really mean to you? Like, does it mean that the website works? Does it mean that you can charge? Because you can be production ready and get customers, just straight up like doing it on Lovable. But like when it's time to scale is really where you want to think about the build. And I would say like the way that vibe coding is, even to this day, if you plan to make a significant investment of time into something, then you should also be okay with making, if you have the money, an investment into like getting an engineer to review your stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting engineers to help. Engineers still have a purpose. They have an expertise. They understand code. They understand a language that you don't. And so, in my opinion, there's two things that you can do. One, you can get an external review of your app. And first, what you can do before you do that is pull it into Claude Code. And basically what that means is that when you're on Lovable, you get that's a little cute little button at the top right. You can sync your project to GitHub, make your own GitHub account. That's where your code base lives. You want it to live there so that you actually own it, and it's not contingent on you having a Lovable account. Then once that's done, you can go to Claude Code, give it access to that same code base, and then ask it to do a code review. And this is even before the new feature came out. Like, you could just ask it, it's like, let me know all the bugs, blah, 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 blah. And it can do a full code review. And based off of that, it can make fixes. And you can also, like, now when you go to a developer, you know what they should be saying to you, right? The developer can speak back to it and just can speak back to the fixes that need to be made to have something production ready. I remember like 2 weeks ago, I just had to I had to go to Fiverr. I go to Fiverr all the time for developer help. I had to go to Fiverr because I made someone their own like Crash Out site, kind of, for a music artist. And for some reason, I know why now, but like when you on mobile, it would scroll left and right. Like, it would have a little horizontal. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Like, it's not supposed to happen. And on their Crash Out site, you can take something and burn up a picture of somebody, like a flamethrower. And so, like, and the Google Ad Studios will help me come up with that. So like, it's like a flamethrower. But I was like, it was messing up the vibe. And I was like, I have to get this fixed. I don't know how to get it fixed. I couldn't fix it with AI. It was not helping me. I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to Fiverr. $60, and it was fixed. I spent a week on that. On that thing. Sorry, $60. Like,
that's the difference between, you know, the traditional days of when you would build websites and when you would build apps. Like, you're at the mercy of a developer, not only in time, but in cost. And development is not cheap. So back in the day, you would have been just stuck. you would have been like, oh well, it's the, I mean, unless you wanted to pay a lot of money to get them to fix it. So you know,
It's still expensive. And so I'd say like, but that $60 was well worth it. I was like, thank you, sir. I appreciate you because it made it for him like, and at first I think he was gonna be light work, like it was gonna be like whatever, I'm gonna get it, you know what I mean? But then it took him like a day to fix it because it was like something small. But once he got it, I was like, oh, it took me so long. And like that was a big lesson for me. And as a founder for delegation, let some stuff go. If you have a little bit of money, you have a lot, have the money, delegate because the amount of time I wasted on that is just criminal compared to all the other things that I have to do with my life. And with it was just like I was in Denver that week, and every night after I did events, I would come home 2-3 hours working on this one issue. And at the same time, I'm learning how to like I'm working in Claude Code, so I'm learning how to make commits, learning how like the difference between making a commit and deploying something. Very basic stuff. I'm still learning a year later.
Yeah,
into it.
And I think I want to kind of drill down into that. I think where people are getting, well, at least what I'm seeing, where people are getting stuck with using AI for things like development or design, for more than like once you've gone past the point of like Google searching with AI, people get stuck or turned away because they think AI is like a magic pill or like a genie. So if it doesn't work 100% when they when they prompt, or if it doesn't work all the way, or like you got to do a little extra stuff, they'll be like, AI's not working, AI's hallucinating, AI's not for me, I'm done, AI doesn't work. And it's just like, yeah, but you got to look at in perspective, right?
Get some grit. Put your big girl panties on. Figure it out. I mean,
exactly. You got to look at it in more bigger perspective, because without AI, even with a hallucination, or even with you had to go and hire somebody to do this extra step, you wouldn't have been where you are, period, without it. So it's kind of like, you know, people have to change that mindset, like get out of that mindset of,
or pay someone to do it for them,
or pay somebody to do the whole thing, which
you know
is where we were before AI. So
people, you can subsidize and find people who will build it with it, like build your tool with AI for you, and like get it like at least production ready to some extent. Like that is a thing, because it's like, what is your tolerance for? Like I've spent hours, like hours working on certain stuff, or like hours going in circles with the AI, when like a lot of the times I should have just outsourced a little bit of that help. Like when there's nothing wrong with like troubleshooting and getting through an issue and learning, but you don't know what you don't know sometimes. And so it's good to like lean on a developer who does know, and you don't have to pay them an arm and a leg. Like I probably spent maybe under like 2,000 total over the course of me vibe coding for the last year on developer help. And that's cheap. And right now, for a lot of the things they were doing for me last year, AI, like Lovable does it way better now. Claude Code does it way better now, better than we can even imagine. Like, so a lot of the stuff is more so like, if you wanted to feel like it's production ready, I think knowing how to do a code review, knowing how to do a security review, and understanding what security like measures that you need to have about your app, and then being okay with paying someone to just do a review, and like, and making it like an open developer, because some developers will try to poop on your whole project, and it's like, you're not the one for me. I already know that the code is not going to be perfect, but the idea is that, can it work? If it can work and I can make money from it, then I can get it rebuilt later with real engineers. But right now, can it work? And what do we qualify as production ready? And if you can monetize it, if it's safe and it's been tested for safety, and if it's not too buggy, and you've gone through a lot of the use case, like a lot of the edge cases, because that's something that we don't always consider when we're vibe coding, like the edge cases when using it. So we give it to users, and then they point out, oh, this isn't working. Oh, this isn't working. Oh, I tried to do this. Like, I didn't even think you were going to do that, right? Yeah. I'm usually the person too. When it comes to apps, I'm usually the person that will break it, like your app, on accident, because the way that I think, I done something that you didn't prepare for, and now I'm like, why is it doing that? And you're like, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm annoying to most, but I don't even try. I'm like, why is it not working this way? And then like, It's maybe the simplest stuff, like this one tool, the way you copy and paste the words, I was like not getting it. It's simple, but if I have the problem, I'm not the only person who would have that problem. So I just
So
want to
you gave us some lessons for vibe coding and building production ready and code review, security review. Make sure you have that. And I will also add on like you were saying, make sure have some sort of like outline for yourself on what kind of developer you want to be working with, because that throw off your whole project, like you said, depending on what their personality or how they feel, or
just
they like traditional development and they like hate vibe code. Like, you gotta fill them out.
guys are chill. Like they want to make their money, so they're not going to shit on what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like the guys on Fiverr, and when I wrote that down, like the community, because I like have worked with at least 3 or 4 that I trust for web apps specifically, and so like I may add them to like I don't know, like a referral thing so people can work with them because like they've done work, it's been clean work, they've done it on time. The most important thing we work with a developer is establishing, especially because they're foreign, the ones that I work with is like what does the definition of done mean? Like
Absolutely. That's not just before, that's actually a real because I'm coming from like product and UX. So that's like an actual term that we use when we're working with our development team, like in corporate. So the definition of done is definitely keys. Like when you working, I would say working with anybody. I use that when I'm working with anybody. You don't even have to be a developer.
I agree.
Let's have a mutual agreement of what done is going to be between us, because my definition is different from yours. Like, vice versa.
And assume they don't know, because they will, like, developers always try to cut corners. As long as I work with developers, because I've worked with them for a long time in crypto, they will. If you don't know,
they will.
Absolutely. They will. And don't even think it's nice. It's just the nature of the game. So it's like, be very clear on what done means to you. Have them send a video testing, or have them send a video of them doing it themselves. And because like, I remember one time I wanted them to add a login, but then like, it was so janky. I forgot what happened, but like, it didn't have a password minimum, or like little stuff like that like they will completely just go and do whatever and not have these things if you let it. And so you have to make sure that it's clear, and then it's clear how you want to deliver. So before I approve this, I want you to show me a video of you doing like this being working, and then we can approve like the rest of the money going out to you or what have you.
That's key. So I hope anybody watching this that's building vibe coding takes that into account. So let's do a little demo. Share your screen. Let me see. How do I need to change this? Well, press the share screen and let me see if I need to do anything.
Alrighty, hold on.
For all those who came in, we have Karima, and she goes by Karima Digital. She's gonna show us her app that she built, Crash Out Diary. If you have not heard of it, get into it. And she vibe coded it. So let's get into it.
I have 2 links for this because for some reason my personal browser has blocked my link. So Crash Out Diary is here. Warning, it's like under mass construction right now. I'm like redoing everything, so it's a little janky.
And hold on, let me ask a question right before that. So are you like code freeze and not letting people use it, or are people using it while you are doing your revamp? Just so people know, kind of like.
People are using it, but like not a lot of people, because when I switched from the mobile, when I switched from web app to mobile, I shut the web app all the way down. When I brought the web app back, I only sent it to like the users that were like that email me like, I'm on Android, I want to have access to it. So like it's not being heavily used right now. I've added a lot of new stuff to it, but it's like it's getting a serious facelift. And I'm actually going to, like, after this is over, kind of like rewire and think about how I want to go about it, whether I want to put more energy into the mobile app again. Because because there's work. Because when I was doing this, work was brand new last year, and it was not as easy to
Yeah.
buy for the mobile app. Now you can do games and work, and I want the Crash Out games to be more interactive. So I'm thinking about spending like a lot of time in work and redoing my mobile app, and you can like launch to Android with work. So um
Tell us what Roy is.
Work.ai is a mobile app. It's like Lovable for mobile apps.
Okay.
So just think Lovable, but you can
Xcode?
actually ship from to the app store from inside of work.
And why did you choose that? Was Xcode, I think that's what it's called. Was that out when you started?
Well, Xcode is something that like you're gonna like you have natively on your Apple computer, but like it's not like Lovable for it's not as simple. If you don't just prompt, you can use like Opus
Okay.
4.6 Claude inside of work to build stuff out.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can use different models. It's like Cursor or Claude Code. Well, Claude Code only use Claude's model, but Cursor you can use multiple different models.
Yes.
Or I'm pretty sure Codex you probably could too. So I'm like actually doing a session with myself tonight to like figure out what's the plan, how do I move forward. But so for Crash Out Diary, what really went viral, this is just a landing page, what I put together. But what really went viral was
Oh wait,
this.
I can't see it anymore.
Oh dang, I see the little eye thing went out. Why is the dictating thing there? Hold on. Let me close my whisper flow out because it's getting in the way. There we go. Can you see now?
At first it said you were sharing and then it went out.
Yeah, let me can I unshare? Let me stop sharing and then try again. Cause I see like the little eyeballs like crossed.
There we go.
See it now?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, so Crash Out Diary is a wellness app that allows you to regulate your emotions in intense moments and then helps you learn emotional regulation throughout the journey of your lifetime. So what went viral was this simple ritual, which is the Crash Out ritual. So basically, it's a Crash Out girl. This was made in Chat GPT. And they came up with this. I love AI because they slashed a tire. I did not say make a girl slash a tire. They did. I was like, perfect. Because we angry. So you crash in, you basically pick a vibe, whether it's love, work, or life. I had love first, and then people were like, I want to do more than love. Like I want to talk about other stuff. So I added that other like topics. Then you choose like a character to respond to you. The most popular one is Boy Best Friend, and there's also one called Chaos Twin, and that's the one that talks trash with you. You just type like, I hate that you cheated, because ideally, like you're dropping this here so you don't go text your ex, or you're dropping this here so that you don't go blow up and send a paragraph text that's not going to be work. Like they're not going to read it anyway, or they're not going to treat you how they would anyway, or you just feel like, and I can kind of show some of the like posts people have done over the time. You just feel like a certain way. You type it here. After then it will give you a response back, and it'll be like, oh, the betrayal, the audacity, blah 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 blah. Like it'll, validate your emotions in a bit, and well, a little bit. You're not the problem. You're just the only same one in the clown car. Like I don't know. That's so funny to me. So then you can put the energy somewhere else. So this is like when you can make an account, but we'll skip that part. You put the energy somewhere else, and basically it'll ask you to choose peace or crash out. If you crash out, you play. This is the thing I made brick by brick. Okay, it's so janky. I don't know. But the game, so you click, and this also this makeup cursor is my personal computer cursor. It's not on the app. So
Oh, I was
boom.
thinking that was super cute, but
Oh yeah, it's mine on the computer. But so boom, after that, or if you choose peace instead, it'll like give you alternative activities, or you could do a breathing exercise.
okay.
So there's basically different things that you can do And the idea is it's a ritual of release and releasing certain behaviors, or releasing the breaking the pattern, interrupting the pattern of how you usually crash out. So instead of like getting on the internet and like crying on live, or going to go slash his tires, or yelling at someone, or like making yourself feel bad about something, you kind of go here. So once you choose peace, then it gives you a reward, and that's it. Super simple. It gives you like a meme here, like a fun meme. So this is my favorite one. It's funny. So it's funny that one popped up. It randomly popped up. You can look at different ones, but this whole thing is about to completely change. And I'm about to add an anti-crash out plan that it'll give to you. You can look at the crash wall. Let's see if it'll let me log in, because my Google login was not working right the other day. It was kind of janky. Yeah, you see this?
Yeah.
Like, very oh, here it is. So on the crash wall is like where you can vent and like anonymously post.
Okay.
So I haven't the web app hasn't been live in a few months. As you can see, some of like the age of some of these posts are old. But like this is where like this is a kind of stuff people are posting. I'm so in love with him, it makes me sick. My friend told me this girl I'm not cool with isn't cool, blah, 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 blah. Like it's so many crash outs. See more crash outs. You could just I'm a little nervous and worried. I think this boy had my crush. It's a lot of, and when you read it, you realize like it's a lot of like high school, college students on here. When I first made it, I had no idea that they would be attracted to it, but it's called Crash Out. Why wouldn't they? So
Right.
I think Wella will be like my more adult version of Crash Out Diary, but basically why she's swearing lies about me. Like, this is basically like the crash wall and how you can like just see all the things that are going on. I do plan to add like a library of games. That's not active. Like this is like, coming soon. And I also plan to add a chat where you can talk back and forth with the AI. I'm just thinking really hard on what that looks like as far as safety is concerned. So I haven't launched that yet. But that's like this is simple. Like it's not even it. I think the thing about Crash Out Diary that makes it special is that like it meets people where they are and it speaks to them in their language. And so like what you build doesn't have to be like something so novel and brand new, and like
I think
to meet an audience where they are and be impactful in that manner.
Two things that I want to point out. One, I think that's the intimidation that people or I guess like that's the myth, right? Like somebody probably thinking they need to invent Airbnb or Instacart or something, right? But it doesn't have to be all of that if you want to put something together or bring an idea into production, one. And then two, did you know did you research target audience and all of that stuff, or did you you went with the vibes?
So I literally was vibe coding, and I, like the thing about vibe coding that I tell most people is that your first project should not be like, and because what happened with me was that I was vibe coding for a while, but I was not shipping anything because I had so much
imposter syndrome. I don't believe in
expectation on things. Like it's like going to the gym and expecting to lift 1,000 pounds. Like you just got here, get that 5-pound weight
after a week,
or do a class and have fun in that gym class. Like don't try to put this pressure on yourself. To display these skills that you don't have. And so when I vibe coded 2 other apps. One was called Motive and Mayhem, which is a murder mystery generator. And what was the other one? Dang, I forgot. But there was another one that I made that was pretty fun. And then this was like the third one. And with Motive and Mayhem, that was really cute. It made you a whole game board. You could play Sleuth. It was like a whole thing. And then with this one, my goal was like to just launch an app a week. But like I just went off of vibes. Like at first, the first iteration of this was don'ttextmyex.com. It was a picture of Future when he's like staring down at the phone. And it was like a box you could put and put your text there instead of texting your ex. And I actually had told my friend, I was like, I think this is a good idea. And he's like, I don't really know. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it, brother. Like, I'm not sharing my shit with you no more, bro. Because I mean, he's a guy, so maybe in everyone's experience is different. But I know that I've had times where I was this, and I'm like, this is not for me. So I personally, but also I feel like it's a skill. Like it's a skill to like love people enough to meet them where they are, and then put that in through your work. So when I first like made this, like it was me. I feel like exercising my special skill to meet people where they are, and I did not think about my ICP. And so now, actually, like that's my biggest problem is when I remarket this app, I'm going to have to remarket it to a crowd where I was just like, what? Now I know how to get in front of them. My sisters are 18 and 19. Well, they're 19 and 20, 21 now. Oh, Lord, but they're around that age. And so like I have users I talk to, like I keep up with them. So it's not like it's a completely foreign world, but I did not think about my ICP before this. I didn't have a PRD. Everybody tell you get a PRD, blah, blah, blah. Like you don't need none of that to get started. You need to just get in there and get your hands dirty and have fun. And then the next project that you do, okay, you can plan it out with Claude. A PRD is a product requirements document. Come up with your I know you know, but come up with a product requirements document.
I'm gonna put that in chat for anybody who doesn't know.
And then plan out brick by brick and little by little, add on feature by feature. Don't try to do too much at one time because usually the AI will change other stuff in the background. It still does that to this day. If you say, hey, I want you, you give it a whole PRD or you give it too much at once, it'll change another feature that has nothing to do with
but you know what's the trick for me? So I put my PRD in Claude Code, right? And then I build out all of my code like there. Then I take that code and I put it into a MD file, and then I put that code into like whatever tool I'm using, whether it's Lovable or whatever. And then in the prompt that I'm using, I say like, go only do one feature at a time, and then check in back with me before you go on to the next thing so that I could approve it. So we ain't doing that. Like
yeah, you need the constraint.
Step by step, I'm not with it. Like you're gonna have to check in with me, and then we're gonna go step by step so that I can actually see. Because I'm not a developer either. I want to see every step what you're doing so that I know.
Exactly. Give it constraints. Like negative prompted. To this day, you still got negative prompt. When I'm developing, I'm actually going to create a skill for myself.
Explain that for the people, please.
Negative prompt is just telling it what not to do. Do not touch any code. Only work on this part of the app. Do not like be explicit about what you don't want it to do. Like don't assume that it's not going to do it because it will do it. It will change. Oh my gosh, I almost crashed out myself. Like working with Lovable. Like last month, I was making like a Valentine's Day site for my girlfriends, and like it went and changed the whole thing. I was like, no, why would you do that? But like I got caught slipping and I was a negative prompting and I wish I was. But that's also why in Lovable using plan mode is helpful because you can approve what it's going to do beforehand. And the same thing using plan mode and Claude Code. Any tool that allows you to use plan mode, do it. Google Ad Studio doesn't have plan mode yet, but for real, Google Ad Studio is like a good place for you to like get your rocks off, like have a really good time, give it like a random prompt, come up with like some kind of idea, and then just let it go. Like be like, I want to do like a Walking Dead themed zombie apocalypse, blah 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 site. It's gonna come up with some fire. Mm-hmm. Then when you do that, take the design, pull it into Claude Code, and then actually build out the rest of the features.
Yes. There's so many ways to like Google from the top of the year to right now. Google AI Studio is just so good. They on another level. Like Google, in my opinion, my prediction has always been Google is going to take the whole thing over for many reasons, but I'm not going to get into it. But Google is ahead of the game. But it's so many ways now to vibe code that wasn't out. Like you said, like when you first started or when, we first started playing around with AI, so many shortcuts you could do to build an app. Like you don't even have to do all this stuff now. You can literally you could put together a mood board, put it in Google AI Studio, get the front end, or that's, like how your screens are going to look. And then like Karima said, you take those and you could put that into Claude Code, literally build out your back end and done. Like there's so many ways to vibe code now. and
It's
get
amazing.
something built that wasn't around even like 3-4 months ago. It wasn't even around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing what you're able to be able to do with vibe coding, like how it's able to just I'm still like blown away. Even like last night when I was making Wella's first name was Booty because I was making an app called I was making a workout app called Booty,
Okay.
and it was going to be it's all these things. It was fun, but I was like I need something for myself right now because this is the era of personal software. So like I
Yes.
believe that like soon you'll be able to build out your own apps in your own ways and things of that nature.
Even
And
if
so like,
even if you're not selling it, right? Like it kind
no,
of
yeah.
explain personal software because I think I'm agreeing with you. I think that's the what we're going to too.
Yeah, personal software is just basically you being able to like customize your own app. So if you want a gym app and like it doesn't do this thing, make your own that does that thing and just host it on your own. Now, like depending on how complicated you may like, it may be better for you to just get somebody else's service. But like for me, I just wanted to have a way I can log my meals, take a picture of my meals, upload it, basically like I was having these intense sugar cravings. I still am. Like I always want sugar. So I'm like, I'm working on it. Right. And so like what do I do? By nature, I'm gonna go to AI and build an app for it. Cause like I like to do that and have fun. So that's what I did last night. I was like, these sugar cravings have to stop. And like it actually educated me a lot on why I was having them. And then we talked about building an app. I was in a Claude chat and it built the whole app. I saved it to GitHub. I was so surprised at how well it was designed for its first time around, just from Claude Code, and not because I wanted to like use Lovable first and then start it there. But it did such a great job on its own. I was like, oh, well, I'll just edit this in Claude Code and
Yeah.
we'll plug it out in Claude Code together. No need to include Lovable in this, triangle. So that was like the personal software era is going to be coming where you can make your own like I probably won't do this kind of like the social aspect of it, but like my own hiking app to track my hikes and like my pictures. I like all trails though because I like the social aspect and I like to see what other people did on the trail. But like just like my own screen blocker app. Like why pay Opal $20 a month? I love Opal, but why pay them $20 a month when I can make my own screen blocker app and like block out my own stuff, like save money that way.
Yeah.
Like it needs to
I
be get to
agree.
that point to have your own library. I was thinking about this earlier that like, so I was like, damn, I could probably sell Wella as like a SaaS and pay, get people to pay for it. But I was like, what if I just sold a template so you could use this and then like recreate your own version of your own wellness app instead of like what I have because I have like maybe you want Bible verses to learn from every day to practice, right? And mine's is like about gut cravings, gut health, and sugar. But maybe you want to have like Neville Goddard stuff in there, which I want to add something there, and I say that out loud. Maybe you want to have that in there as your daily like reading or something like that. You want to like personalize it on your own. So like you want to have these things. Some people also may not want to do that and would want to support someone like me who's building something that they like and be flexible with it because it's already hitting the mark for them. They may decide it's not for them after a while because of the personalization they need more of or less of. But it's just a whole new world now. Like
I agree. I was thinking today, well, I need to build this out. It's on my to-do list. I need to build out a new portfolio. Back in the day, you either had to, do a WordPress, do a Wix, Wix was really popular for people building portfolios, but now I'm just going to build my own portfolio and I don't have to pay for anything. I'm just
Yeah.
going to have the site and build it out. So I agree. We're going to that point where you can build it yourself, especially if it's not taking up all your time or it's not taking you away from other stuff that you want to do. So Wella, right?
Mhm.
What's the future? What is your plans for this? Are you going to keep building apps? Do you want to sell apps? Do you want to scale? Do you want to raise? What is
Um,
doing?
that's a good question. So for Crash Out Diary, I'm going to take myself through an exercise tonight to work out where I am, where I'm trying to go, what I need to do to get there. For Wella, I may make this a SaaS too because I feel like Crash Out Diary, I made it for myself, but I attracted younger women. And I love that though. I absolutely love the fact that I get to help out younger women. I've actually started to like pitch in person anti crash out sessions and got like my first one booked at a high school in May. So like I'm gonna be going in schools and doing this work with young women. And I absolutely just am in love with that. But also like there are women that are older in their 30s that still want to use these different tools. And so I'm like, I think Wella is like a different brand and like more like someone older may not be like as attracted to Crash Out Diary, even though I do have people that are like my age, like that don't really care. They're still going to use it because it's helpful. But I understand like the branding also changes the person's experience and their perception.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about like maybe I may release this as a SaaS. You can personalize, you can have your own, like make your own wellness app kind of thing, like a white label tool for yourself because it took me 2 hours to make this last night. Now, like to be fair, my 2 hours is different than someone else's 2 hours because I've been in it for a long time. I have a lot more um just hours put in, but it doesn't mean that someone else can't do it. They probably could, I just kept going in and I would change stuff. Like when I vibe code, I literally go by vibes. Like I just thought to be like, you know what? I don't like that. You know what? I need to take a picture of my food. You know what? I should do a
Yeah.
gym every day. I started to think of it and I just
Vibe coding. That's why I love like the hackathon vibe coding. I never used to be into hackathons at all. Like, but vibe coding hackathon, nah, I wasn't. That wasn't for me. But now, because I love seeing that process, that creative process. Everybody's creative process is different. And I like just you can learn. You can see somebody else's. You could say because you're right. Your 2 hours is different from my 2 hours. In those 2 hours, I might see something you're doing. I'm like, I probably should add that into my process, or maybe not, or So I think the vibe coding hackathons are just where it's at.
I want to go to one. I was so sad when I wanted to do She Builds, but yeah,
I
so
thought
like
you, I thought you were up on it. That's why I didn't send it to you because I thought you were. I thought you already was going to
I
come.
wanted to do one, but then what happened was that which I'll be able to drop on the 24th. I got invited to a huge podcast to like talk about my experience using AI for therapy, using AI for wellness. And it was like huge. So I had to find an outfit. They had different color requirements. And I was like, this is stressful. So my whole Sunday was me at the mall, like looking for clothes. I couldn't even get on the computer not one time because I was like so entrenched and I was like, I had FOMO. I was like, I want to be on the like calls with the girls. Like I want to be there, but I
She built
couldn't.
was fun. Oh my gosh.
I could imagine. Like I just the opportunity was just huge. And so I just had to take advantage of it. And the thing about it was like I didn't get to like directly plug Crash Out Diary during it because it just wasn't a natural flow of the conversation. It wasn't like me. It was like there's an AI documentary coming out and this host is hosting the founders of the like the two people behind the documentary, and then as a part of this like the studio audience she's like asking other people like their experiences from good to bad. So they're like people who AI detected a cancer early, people like me who used AI for therapy when I couldn't afford help and I had to like get my own help and make my own way, or people like another woman whose daughter was like typing a chat before she into her life. And so like it was that also the other spectrum, the other end of the story when like you use AI, which is also why I'm like hesitant of releasing my own chat bot for wellness. I'm still gonna do it. I'm just gonna have like I'm gonna block you out. Once you start saying something, this is done. You're curtain. Sorry, it's not for you. Because I want people to have this experience, but I'm cognizant that like I can call it wellness all day, but it's still going to be people who are dealing with mental health issues when they it's like intertwined. But like it was just like a whole like world of everything. I had like a blue. It was so funny what I had on, but that's irrelevant. I didn't get to participate because of that. I had to go to New York on the fly
I
for a
mean,
day and come back down. But like it was okay because I was going to build like Crash Out Diary, but I'm glad that I didn't like work on Crash Out Diary because I'm like having a new perspective of like how I want to go about it. Like, do I want to go further into the web app or do I want to like go all in and redo the mobile app on Android and because the Apple Store takes 30% of your income.
Mm-hmm.
So do I want to do that now? Or I know they have like a developer program that I've heard of that you can like get that waived if you're under $1 million in revenue. But I need to just think, and I'm gonna have my thinking, my whiteboard first, and then I'll bring it to AI after, and I'll bring it to one of my partner after that, and like just ask him a million questions. And like he's more logical than me. I'm like Delulu is a Salulu all day long. I'm so delusional, but like it's really helpful to have a little bit of ground. Like okay, but it's like AI is like magic. So little Delulu didn't hurt nobody, you know.
We have a comment from Dana, and she says she loves the idea of the Wella template for people to customize. Thank you guys for dropping gems on this Friday night. I said thank you for coming. So yeah, maybe you need to capitalize on this Wella, on this template thing.
I might.
I was just thinking I might become one of those Notion builder girlies. I was just thinking that this week because now that Notion's AI too, it's getting slept on.
I want to know. I want to know about how their AI agents are.
Listen, Notion AI, and then when you combine that with Claude Cowork, I'm about to be like a productivity like maven. Like I'm about to be like a real chief of staff. The way
I'm a Notion girly, but I haven't touched Notion AI.
Oh, like but the combination, because you can have like, let's say because they have calendar now, they have meeting notes, so you can like combine that with Claude Cowork. You can do like read all my meeting notes for the week, tell me who I need to get back to, tell me who's urgent, tell me who's like I need to follow up, tell me where there's a business idea that I'm not seeing, maybe there's an opportunity. That like the way that it works together, you don't have to do anything. Like it's just
I'm gonna play around with it because I was gonna build my own meeting notes agent but it was gonna feed into Notion anyways, but I wanted to have my own agent that basically sent the meeting notes to Notion and then came up with my next steps and then added those next steps to my task board in Notion and then drafted the follow-up emails, which I was going to do with Claude and Zoho Computer. But if Notion, I saw that you can track meeting notes, but my problem with that was it didn't feel like native, like it joined on its own. And like I never
it does. So try it out.
On its own?
Yeah, it can join on its own now.
So you don't have to Well, that's new.
So join on its own, and do like everything that why is Calendly coming to my mind? Probably because I can not have Calendly anymore. But anyway, what's the meeting note bots? All the meeting note bots, same thing.
So many Fireflies, Fathom.
It's doing all the same thing as those. So it's like, why have those when? But I think you have to be a Notion person for it to make sense for you. Because like Notion's like my hub for like content already, planning, second brain. So it makes sense. But if that's not your situation, then it's not gonna make sense.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, Notion has been my main thing for a while. Even when I try to log, I was saying that earlier in my co-working session, like even when I try to like run away, I always end up going back to Notion. No matter what I do, I end up back in there in Notion. Like I try to go Google Docs, back in Notion. Like it's just back there. Now, one thing I do want to do is probably like do a monthly like sync of my data to like Obsidian, so that like
me too. I haven't tried that yet though.
Yeah, because it's offline and you own it. Like Notion could be like, I had a Notion account and I had like 2 weeks. I had something on there and basically it was like if they were like, if you don't pay $400, you're not getting access to this. And I said, oh well, let me start a new account. I started a new account, but I was like, what the hell, heck. And I just was disappointed, but like I lost access to some of that stuff. Now I found a workaround. I found a workaround to get my stuff out of there without having to, because they were basically saying, oh, we see your issue. It was like they wanted me to pay for multiple users, but I was like, I only need to pay for one user. And because it billed me for a year ahead, and then I caught the bill after the bill was issued to me. So I didn't want to pay for multiple users, and I'm like, I only want to pay for one user. And they're like, well, we'll do is that once you pay it, then we'll refund you. I'm like, that's doing too much. I'm just gonna start a new account. So I started a new account because I wasn't about to just pay and then wait 4 to 6 weeks to be refunded, and this is too much. So that's like a wake up call. Like, at all times having my stuff a backup in Obsidian would be good, because then no matter what, I still have like a local version of all my knowledge base that like lives in Notion. That's one of the things I want to make myself do by the end of the quarter.
Yeah, if you have a Obsidian co-work, let me know, because I have an account, but I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, I have an account too, but also
I didn't set it up.
I'm going to just like maybe like a backup your day to day, or like a safety day where we talk about just safety precautions with AI and different things of that nature. I think would be really helpful. So yes, absolutely.
I agree. Now, before we end, I said that we were going to do a little, we're going to go into Claude Code. Now, I don't even know if this is going to work because I haven't shared double screens on this in Restream yet. So let's see if we can even share double screens, because I don't know.
Oh, both share screens at one time. I use Claude Code and VS Code.
I wanted to try the visualization since we both never tried it.
Oh yeah. It gives you I think it gave me a prompt earlier, and it showed me like how financial markets work or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is cute.
Oh, it wasn't impressive? I thought it was impressive. People
I
were
thought no, but it was the prompt that they gave me. I'm pretty sure it was. I like the dynamic learning. It's something that I've always wanted to do in my own chat. So maybe I'm a little jealous that they got it. But like, the prompt that they gave me was like a simple chart that it came up with. It wasn't as interactive as like the ad or like the preview that they showed.
Share your screen. Can you share your screen?
Mm-hmm. What do you want me to share? Like just a Claude chat?
Yeah, share Claude. Let me see if it works. I don't know if it was gonna work.
I actually can show you the one that it developed for me earlier. Or how compound interest works is what they gave me. So
that's probably why you weren't excited. I mean, that's
right. Exactly. See, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't their fault. So this is like, you can look at your annual investment. You can change it up. You can be like, I'm going to make, if my return is this, my initial investment was this amount. So like it just, this dynamically changes around. And then I just said, show me how compound interest works. That was all that they had for the prompt. Let me click on yours.
I just made this up. Like, I don't know. We'll see if it's gonna work.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a little bit more sauce, just because I want to see. I can't spell, y'all, so. And let me see. If I give you this, will you do something? I don't know. I think I wanted like pictures in my mind. Is that doing too much?
It looked like it's gonna.
In my mind, I was like, I want like give me some key pictures for the key moments.
Me have to ask it for pictures.
I'm gonna ask because
but it's adding interactive layers. You gotta let it cook a little bit.
Let me see. I'm not judging yet. Let me see. Because people was talking about this feature all day. So I was like,
It was
yeah, because they released this and they released
code review
code review.
and mobile. You can now like launch Claude Code session on your desktop from mobile, which I was like, ooh, that's like bad for my addiction though, because when I be out, I be like wanting to check Claude or wanting to like approve stuff in the terminal, and I'm like, bro, I have to stop.
You're right. So I just put Claude. I knew how dangerous this was. Anyway, I just put Claude on my phone like over the weekend because I was trying like to hold out. I didn't want, because then you just be out just doing all type of stuff. You'll be so wrapped up in it. I just was like, but I'm here now, so I'm here. I've joined. Y'all really gonna do that?
Damn.
This limit is out of hand. Like
I'm on the max account because
I can't go to max yet, but I'm gonna have to, because
if you think about it, like the amount of work that it does, you would pay someone 10 times that amount. Like I paid $100 a month. You would pay someone X thousand times more than that amount. But that's probably a reason why not to use this damn feature, because if it's going to take up your tokens, then dang.
yeah, you're right. I'm actually so I wanted to test it out, but honestly, if I wanted to do this, I would just do this in Google AI Studio for free. Because they could do this.
Exactly. I feel like the dynamic is like, what is the purpose? I guess I think what this actually, it's the way you think about it, because if you're trying to actually learn something, maybe it could help you learn like a complex topic that visualization would help you a lot better with. You know what I mean? That's the main use case I can see for something like this. For me in wellness, I think is more even cooler in wellness. But like for me in Crash Out Diary, like while you're in a chat, I would want a breathing exercise to pop up in the chat. Like, you know what I mean? Like more intentional than this. I feel like this is like fancy, and I wish they would have focused on something else. A million other things they could be pushing. But I get it. Like they're having a time was had. They're having a time with pushing out these new features every other day.
I mean, and they're hot right now, so why not? And then also, like I said, Google is killing. Google is foot on neck, so it's like, they kind of have to. But I am not. I don't think I'm using this. Like, to be honest, I just wanted to demo. It just came out, whatever. But
I know I wouldn't either. I would just be like,
this is unacceptable. So guys, this is what happens. I'm on the middle tier plan, and when you're using Claude a lot, it will give you these limits. And then I'm gonna have to wait until this is really like a lie. It's 12 a.m. because I've been on back. I've gotten on before, and it's let me. But I'm gonna have to go to this $100 plan because this is not gonna work.
Absolutely, it's time. Like go ahead, get it in. I'm like all reducing all my 1 million tabs I have up here because I have a million going. But I let do that little thing for me earlier, and I was like, oh, that was cute. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to what I was doing before y'all.
That's what it is. I'm going to get back to what I was doing. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Karima, thank you so much for being here. This is Genius Over Matter, where we explore what Black genius looks like in AI. I will be back in 2 weeks-ish to have another episode and have another Black genius with us. And it's probably going to be a woman. So come back. I will be sharing online where I will be, what time, what day, and all you have to do is show up. So thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.